Atlanta Hawks offer Trae Young an extension. Trae Young is extension eligible. 4 years, $220 million. Okay. About $55 million a year or so. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess. Right? Do you max him? Do you dare go to the table? Do you dare go to the negotiations with Trae Young? I know about the Zion stuff, guys. I don't even know what to say about it really right now. Like I saw that as I was alive. So, do you max Trae Young, or do you dare go to the table and be like, dude, we can't max you? Like we'll pay you, we'll make you rich beyond your wildest dreams, but we're not gonna max you. NBA or NFL news? Is Aaron Rodgers on a team? Is he on a team? Is he on the Steelers? No? Okay. Boston Celtics shed enough salary to at least duck the second apron. Is that even possible? Boston is currently around $23 million into the second apron. Is it even really possible to shed $25 million total? I guess it probably is. I think for them, it's more likely that they shed some money while freeing up more long-term financial flexibility. Like getting off of Drew in exchange for like maybe expiring guys. Not only would they have to get rid of KP and Drew, though, but they'd have to be taking back substantially less money in the process of those trades. So it'd have to be the teams that have cap space, or you'd have to do some clever maneuvering, which is why I think, guys, and I don't even want to toot my own horn, and you guys know I never toot my own horn, but I don't even want to do it. I think my Drew Holiday trade is the best one that I've seen. Like, I think it's the best one, period. Now, this is why I don't think Drew to the Mavs makes any sense, because I think they try to get draft capital and take back no money via trade. Well, they're not going to get draft capital for Drew. They're going to have to give up draft capital. I mean, that's just it. He's a negative contract. I'm begging you to increase your mic volume. Okay. All right. It is a little bit low. I don't know why that's the case. You're so in on Gaff to the Hawks. It makes a lot of sense. Paul at the $5. It's hard to understand slightly biased over the sound of his own horn tooting. I never toot my own horn. Brooklyn Nets use their cap space as leverage. $60 million. 60. Asset accumulation. I feel like that's the most likely scenario. Is that they're just dumping ground basically this offseason. Well, yeah, we'll take this guy for 6 second-round picks. Yeah, we'll take a late lottery protected first to take on this guy. I think Giannis is a pipe dream. What's like I'm interested. What's the Giannis like betting favorite team? Is there one? I know I shit on that all the time, but I'm just trying to gauge what we're talking about. Tim with the 5. My hot take: Mavs and Lakers trade again. Austin Reeves and Dalton connect for Gafford and PJ. Is that even possible? Financially? Jazz are the favorites. Should be Houston for Giannis. Yeah, Houston actually makes the most sense, probably. Yeah, Lake Show. What's my Drew trade? It was like a 4-team trade where Gafford goes to Atlanta, who has a trade exception, for a late first-round pick. PJ goes to Boston. Drew goes to Dallas. The Mavs get 2 picks, one from Atlanta, one from Boston, and they salary dump someone to the Nets. And I'm just saying I think it's the best one, just purely speaking from like a financially, it makes sense. I think the pieces moving around kind of make some sense. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the Mavs and Lakers trade again. I'm actually really interested to see what that's like. Find your icon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are Nike Shocks back in? Folks, are Nike Shocks back in? Are these back in play? I used to have a pair of Nike Shocks back in the day. Charlotte Hornets resolve the future of Mark Williams. Yeah, that's probably a little awkward. You probably got to trade him because isn't he coming up on extension eligible? Yeah, he's extension eligible this summer. Yeah. Unk getting excited about Nike Shocks. Who's excited? Chicago Bulls figure out the Josh Giddey situation. What's there to figure out? You're paying him. Now, I guess the question for Giddey is, do you let his restricted free agency play out a tiny bit? Because who's going to pay him? Because they're probably saying, yeah, we want to keep Giddey, so we'll just pay him whatever he wants. But maybe we let him go test his market. Maybe we go let him see, hey, the Nets offered to me $30 million. I'm going to sign it. All right, we'll pay you that. Otherwise, I think you probably let it play out a little bit. And so can a team... So when it comes to restricted free agency, is a team allowed, even if they don't have the cap space, are they allowed to offer you a cap sheet with the idea being we're going to sign and trade for you? Is that a thing that's possible? Or do you have to have the cap space to do it? So could a team, and I'm not saying this would happen, but I'm saying, could the Mavs be like, hey, we'll do a sign and trade. You need the cap space? Okay. That's what I figured, but I wasn't entirely sure. Yeah, I think you let his market play out. That would be my thing. We'll see how they handle that. Cleveland Cavaliers tackle the Ty Jerome dilemma. I love these captions. Figure out the Josh Giddey situation. Tackle the Ty Jerome dilemma. I mean, what's the dilemma here? I wouldn't really call it a dilemma. It's just they can't pay him, can they? Ty Jerome is an early bird free agent, so the Cleveland Cavaliers can only offer him a starting salary worth up to 105% of the league's average. This puts his year one price at around $14.3 million. Oh, they could probably keep him for that. They could probably keep him for that. There's no fucking way a team's paying him more than that. I don't even know. Is Ty Jerome really worth $14 million a year? That feels like a risky one. That feels a little bit risky. This will actually be really interesting. Cleveland's finances prevent his return from being a no-brainer decision, though. It'll be around $13 million into the second apron. So Ty Jerome, new contract puts him $13 million into the second apron. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see what they do. I feel like the Cavs are in a weird spot. Like, I know our immediate reaction when teams lose is like, blow the team up. This team's not good enough, so on and so forth. I don't know. If I'm Cleveland, I think I'm just running it back next year. If I'm cool with paying that much money, if my owners are cool with paying that much money, I'm just going to run it back. I mean, we won 60 games. Like, yeah, we shit our pants, but let's just give it one more go around. And if we have to trade guys, we trade guys. Dallas Mavericks re-sign Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I agree. That's priority number one. I'm interested. Like, I don't think there's any world like Kyrie will take the years. So this idea that he might opt in and just be a free agent at the end of next season, I don't really. I'm trying to, and I don't know if the Mavs really want to risk this or whatever, but I'm trying to say, hey, you just tore your ACL. You're an older guard. You're a smaller guard. You rely on your quick twitch athleticism a lot of the times. Like, it's a risky venture for you. You know, if you come back in February and look a step slow and you picked up your player option, you know, your free agent market might not be next to anything. So let's decline the option. We'll extend you 3 years, but it's not going to be the max. We'll pay you a lot. We'll pay you a ton of money, but it's just not going to be the max. Is that scary? Is that conversation too scary to have? Is it too delicate of a situation? Is there any chance Kai isn't back? No, I really don't think so. I hope so. That's what I would do. Rate this offseason. Mavs offer Kyrie max extension for 3+ years and trade a pick with Gafford or Najee for Drew. And they trade a pick with Gafford, Najee for Drew, and they gave Kyrie a 3+ year max. Rate the offseason F. That's an F. It's a horrible offseason. Denver Nuggets, listen to Nikola Jokic. So Jokic is extension eligible. The extension eligibility stuff's always hilarious to me because it's like, yeah, he's got 4 years left, but he is extension eligible. All right, so yeah, Jokic, go out and get depth. They're in such a weird spot. Pistons locked down Malik Beasley. What's his contract going to be? Retaining him is a tad complicated. As a non-Bird free agent, the Pistons can only offer him a 120% raise, $7.2 million, or use cap space or an exception to sign him. They do have cap space. In an ideal world, he would ink a 1+1 deal using non-Bird rights and get a bigger raise next summer so Detroit can use cap space or a bigger mid-level exception to keep building the roster. That would be nice. I think the thing, though, for guys like this is, one, how many teams are actually going to have access to the full mid-level? How many teams are going to use a full mid-level? And would teams pay a guy like Malik Beasley $14 million a year in today's NBA world where having a bunch of bigger contracts is scary? I'm sure they'll bring Malik Beasley back. I'm expecting them to 100% bring Malik Beasley and Dennis Schroeder back. Timmy, I'm not entirely sure. Golden State Warriors resolve the Jonathan Kuminga dilemma. So I read something today that the Nets were not interested in Jonathan Kuminga. So what the fuck team is he going to be on? Is there any team that's interested in him? I was reading something and it's like Jonathan Kuminga thinks that he is going to be like the lead guy on the next team he's on. Like that's his goal. To be the lead guy on the next team he plays for. AI loves the word dilemma. I'm not getting AI here from this. Warriors fans think he's worth $35 million a year. Do they really? Still? Sign and trade. Golden State and Kuminga are expected to work together on sign and trades. The Warriors presumably get draft compensation and/or players better fit for the rotation. Kuminga resigns and gets traded later. Kuminga signs his qualifying offer. That would be interesting. I have zero idea. You could tell me the Kuminga thing is going to play out in a million different scenarios. You could tell me some dumbass team's like, yep, $35 million. Say less. We're in. We'll do it. We don't give a fuck. Let's do it. You could tell me no team wants to do that, and it's August 19th, and we're like, hey, is Jonathan Kuminga going to play in the league next year? Like, what the hell's happening? Could be one of those things where it just drags. Houston Rockets invest in offensive help. Yep, that goes without being said. If you're Stephen A. Smith, oh, Jesus. I literally read that as Stephen A. Smith. If you're the San Antonio Spurs, would you consider a sign and trade for Kuminga involving Barnes in the future pick? No. The only team, like, honestly, I'm only really interested in the Kuminga experience if I'm a team that's terrible. But even then, some of these bad teams, like Brooklyn, the only reason it really makes sense for Brooklyn is they don't have a guy. So, yeah, let's just take the shot. Like, who gives a fuck, really? We'll take a shot. We don't have the young guy. It's like, just give him the ball a bunch and let him do shit. Like, we don't have that guy, so let's just do Kuminga. But all these other teams, it's like Chicago. Well, if I'm the Bulls, I'm like, I think I'd rather have Kobe White do stuff. Montas Bazulis, we're interested in his development. We're going to pay Giddey $30 million probably. Do I really want Kuminga? If I'm the Wizards, I'm like, I'd rather like Bub Carrington go out and do shit and just see what we have there. Like, it's interesting. Indiana Pacers do what it takes to re-sign Miles Turner. How much is he going to make? Are we talking $30 million a year for Miles Turner? Probably. After factoring in the number 23 pick, the Pacers will be within $17 million of the tax. They haven't paid the tax, I want to say, in 20 years. I bet they do it this time around, though, especially if they end up making the finals. Thoughts on people named Bub? Love it. Use the MLE to sign a floor general and another center for the Clippers. So they've got $14 million mid-level at their disposal. So the Clippers are going to be in the market for a point guard too, huh? Uh-oh. Chris Paul back to the Clippers. That almost feels like guaranteed. I know we want Chris Paul on the Mavs, but I close my eyes and I see him in a Clippers jersey next year. That's just feels like where we're at. Could $14.1 million total get them, say, Steven Adams and one of Chris Paul, Tyus Jones, Trey Jones, or Malcolm Brogdon? That would be a good offseason for them. If they use their mid-level and get Steven Adams and Chris Paul. That would be a really good offseason. Yeah, next year has to be Chris Paul's last year, right? I mean, I'd be shocked. Los Angeles Lakers upgrade the center rotation. That goes without being said. The list of available centers who meet the criteria isn't especially deep. I'm telling you guys, take a real peek. I think they're in some deep trouble. It only projects to have the 5.7 mini mid-level exception at its disposal. And I will say, one of the things working in the Lakers' favor is, yes, they do fall ass forwards a lot of the time, but also they do have some salary space next year. Like, they can open up salary space next year. I'll actually say this. This is what every team should do if 2025 NBA free agency started today. That's number one has to be get Luka extension done, because that changes your dynamic. Like, that changes everything for you. If you don't get a Luka extension hammered out. Mavs were in a similar position in the center market going into 23-24, just had the luxury of a lottery pick. It would be like if the Mavs pushed for play-in and lost the pick that season. Yeah, 100%. All right, peace out, Aaron. Good luck on your math test, brother. Hot take, maybe it's going to be so hard for the Mavericks to make trades because no GM wants to be the team that got beat by Nico after the Luka trade disaster. There's always pathways to make trades. I think Goga's the best option. I mean, listen to what we're saying, right? Like, I like Goga, but we're like, the Lakers aren't looking for a third big. They aren't looking for a backup big to get spot minutes. They need a guy who's going to play 30 minutes in a playoff game for them. Isn't it like actually a terrible sign they haven't immediately extended him low key? No, I mean, there's really not a lot of, from what I understand, after the Mavs fucked Luka, because obviously him signing a supermax with the Mavs, he lost $100 million in this process. From what I understand, there's really no benefit for him signing an extension. Am I wrong in that? Is Gafford not better than Claxton? No, I think Claxton is a better player, but I'm also like, I'm not sure Claxton. The thing is, Claxton's making $20+ million. Yeah, they can't extend him until August. I think August is when they can extend him. So I got immediately my first thing if I'm the Lakers, I'm having a meeting with them, which I'm sure they already had, and I'm like, yo, what's the extension looking like? Are you going to sign with us or no? And if the answer is no, what can we do to get you to sign that extension? Because that's our number one goal. We want you extended, and we don't want to have that hanging over our heads. Yeah, they can't extend him until August. But I'm saying they can have a meeting with them, and he can be like, yeah, I love LA. It's amazing. I'm going to extend. And that's it. Trade for Jokic. He's my best friend. That almost assuredly isn't getting Al Horford or Brook Lopez. It might not even get you Chris Boucher or Clint Capella. Oh. Again, what I was saying, one of the things they have in their favor is that they probably will have some cap space next year, so they can go to a big and say, look, come play in LA. Here's a list of guys who have played here on short-term contracts, one-year deals, and have gone on to do great things elsewhere. Malik Monk. Am I missing any? Malik Monk. Who else? Who are the guys? They had this like stable of one-year guys who went in there, boosted their value, and left. But anyways, Christian Wood, yeah. Here are guys who have, come play in LA, come play next to Luka, boost your value, and then you can hit free agency next year. And hey, we'll have money. Maybe we can pay you and bring you back. But this will be interesting. Memphis Grizzlies renegotiate and extend Jaren Jackson Jr. What is his? $44 million for the next 5. They're saying, he's eligible for $61 million. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell you can pay Jaren Jackson Jr. $61 million a year. No way in hell. He would have been eligible to sign a 5-year Supermax deal worth $345 million if he made an All-NBA team this year. They can now focus on a renegotiation and extension. Okay, all right. So that $61 million is what he would have gotten if he made. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ooh. Yeah, I've got to go. This is the problem teams are going to have with the new CBA now. You're going to have to go to these guys and just straight up be like, hey, we cannot max you. We can't. I mean, we got to pay Bane. We got to pay Ja. I mean, we want to bring back Santi Aldama maybe. We're going to, we already got to look at Edey and paying him. Like, we Scottie Pippen Jr., we need to pay these other guys, and we cannot give you $50 million a year, man. The extra All-NBA money should not count against the cap. I agree 100%. I think it's so stupid it does. It makes no sense at all. Miami Heat add a lead playmaker. Am I sleeping on the KD to the Heat? Is that just kind of like the most obvious situation in the league that nobody's really talking about, but it's like the most obvious desperate team, has like contracts that can be broken into it? Yes, guys, I've seen the Zion stuff. I don't really know what to say. It's very fucked up. I don't want KD on my Heat. Like, let's see real quick. I'm on Fanspo, the greatest website on the planet. How easy are we getting there? KD to the Heat for what? Wiggins. That gets you, Wiggins. Oh, God. All right. Maybe I misread this situation. I mean, Wiggins and Rozier gets you close. Wiggins and Rozier actually is. Wait, failed. Why? Oh, yeah. They're not allowed to take on any money. Holy shit. That doesn't even work. They can't even take on one more dollar. All right, Wiggins, Duncan Robinson, and Jovic. All right. Maybe I misread this situation. Maybe I misread that. Well, do the Suns say no to this? Clearly, right? Right? Jovic is non-negotiable. They can have, Jaime Jaquez is not. The Heat will gladly trade Jaime Jaquez for KD, I think. More likely than not, the Heat are looking to use a mini mid-level, $5.7 million, or slightly more without some cap sheet surgery. So they're in the point guard market as well. Terry Rozier, $25 million. Yikes. Milwaukee Bucks get a definitive answer from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is reportedly open-minded about exploring whether his best long-term fit is remaining. When was this reported? For their part, the Bucks remain hopeful he won't ask for a trade. That's according to Mark Stein. This was weeks ago. When was Mark Stein's? This was also weeks ago. All right. No updates on the Giannis front. What does the taxpayer mid-level exception even get you? Can you even get you a Luke Cornett level player in this economy? It's going to be a minimum level player. Like that's what that contract will get you. A minimum level player. You're negotiating against other teams, and you say, "Hey, we'll give you $5 million. Like we'll give you $2 extra million or whatever." Like that's the level player we're talking about. I think the best argument the Bucks have to go to Giannis is look at how shitty this conference is, man. Like, if you want to go to Houston, like, you're going to be in the fucking bloodbath West. If you go to San Antonio, you're going to be in the Western Conference for the next 10 years. 5 or 6 years. If you want to go to Golden State, you're going to be in that conference for the next 5 or 6 years. Like, dude, if you stay here, all we got to do is get lucky. Like, yeah, our situation's not great, but, I mean, with you on the team, all we got to do is get lucky. Yeah, but obviously this article is saying Boucher might even be priced out of the taxpayer mid-level. I'll see that when I believe it. Minnesota Timberwolves math out the Julius Randle and Naz Reid situations. Julius Randle has a $30 million player option. Naz Reid, I think there's maybe a world Julius Randle opts into that. Naz Reid is not opting into his $15 million player option. He'll hit the open market because at the very least, teams will offer a full mid-level to Naz Reid without a shadow of a doubt. So you get the years there. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is also available. Minnie will be a skosh into the first apron if both Randle and Reid pick up their options. That projection includes the 17th overall pick, but not the return of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Bringing back all three sounds impossible. Interesting. There's no world in which Naz Reid accepts that option, right? Like, no world. New Orleans Pelicans commit to a Zion Williamson plan? Well, in light of very, very, very recent news, that's bad timing. In case you're unaware, Zion Williamson has been accused of rape in a lawsuit. I saw this as I was live, so I don't really want to get into it. It's very delicate. But a very, very fucked up situation there. New York Knicks offer Mikal Bridges an extension. Yeah, I mean, you got to bring Mikal Bridges back. You traded 5 first-round picks for the guy. New York can offer Bridges a 4-year, $150 million deal. Jesus. Jesus. I mean, you got to do it. Right? Man. You're paying OG. What's OG getting? $40 million a year? That team. I mean, Brunson took a pay cut for you. But god damn, that team is expensive. So if Bridges doesn't take that extension, he'll be eligible for $51 million a year in the 2026 free agency. I mean, he's not getting that. Let's be very clear. He's not making that much money. Yeah, I mean, they'll extend him probably $34 million a year. I mean, in a vacuum, that's really not bad for Mikal Bridges, to be honest with you. Oklahoma City Thunder extend Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams. Both these guys are extension eligible. Yeah, they'll be getting it. Now, do you play hardball with them a little bit? Or do you just say, do you play hardball with these two at all? Or do you just give them a max? Thunder have to make decisions. I mean, this isn't even really a decision. You're extending these two. No questions asked. Do they both get extended if they lose the finals? Yes. These guys are getting extended. No questions asked. Now, do those guys finish out their contract? Like, that's the different question. They're getting extended. Do they finish out their contracts? That is the question later down the line if things get weird. They are in a position to play hardball. I'm assuming these two will get maxed, would be my guess. Orlando Magic, go get some offensive firepower. Yep. I mean, if they don't leave this offseason with a legit guard, and I can put like Anthony Simons into that mix. If they don't leave the offseason with one of those guys, then I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They should have done it last offseason. It was clear and obvious. I'm going for Trae Young. Yeah, I mean, do they make a big splash? If I'm them, I'm calling the... You want to know what I'm doing if I'm the Orlando Magic? First day I can. I'm calling Cleveland. I'm calling Cleveland, and I'm saying, hey, how do you guys really feel about DG the PG? DG the PG. How do you guys feel about that? Is there a pathway for a trade? What would that even look like? I'm not sure. It is quite interesting when you think about how much they're paying Franz, Paolo, and Suggs. Why would Orlando offer any of Suggs, Franz, or Paolo for Trae? And why would ATL accept a trade for like Anthony Black, KCP, and a few picks? Well, I guess it depends on what they feel about Trae. Jerome going to start for Orlando this year? That would be kind of a fun turn of events. Ty Jerome starting next to Paolo after their shit talking. Anthony Simons, he was at an Orlando Magic game, an Orlando Magic playoff game. Anthony Simons just feels like the clear-cut, obvious solution. Right? Philadelphia 76ers address Quentin Grimes' future. Quentin Grimes becomes a priority. His restricted free agent cap hold of $12.9 million puts him into the first apron. What is Grimes going to make? Jalen Suggs, low-key, super injury prone. I don't think there's much low-key about that. $20 million for Grimes? Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, he definitely earned himself some money this year. I go back to this all the time with the Grimes trade is the Mavs would not have been able to keep him. Like should they have gotten more in the trade? Yeah, the trade itself, sure. I agree. Like why were the Mavs giving up a second round pick in that trade? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But they were never going to be able to pay Quentin Grimes. They were just never going to be able to do it. Is it true Nico offered him $14 million extension, but he wanted more? I thought it was the $8 million extension is what they tried to get him to. Wasn't that it? Because they like paying these type of guys $8 million a year. Phoenix Suns, map out your Kevin Durant plan. So so this says, conversely, is there any chance Phoenix just holds on to him? Is there a world in which Kevin Durant's on the Phoenix Suns next summer? Right? If he's only going to get 14 mil MLE, that's not much more than the Caleb Martin 9 mil. I mean, in terms of the Mavs situation, it kind of is. Like they're already so up against it. Like they're already $5 million is actually kind of a lot when you're this close to the second apron. And you're already going to have to make moves to not be a second apron team. Who's gutting the roster for KD at this point in his career? Yeah, this is why I long said, and the Mavs aren't even going to entertain this, I don't think, anymore. But I thought the Mavs had the best offer you could probably get for KD if you're Phoenix, which is like a few really solid, reliable role players. That was probably their best option. Like we just looked at the Heat one, and it's Wiggins and Duncan Robinson. Like yeesh. God, what a fucked up situation they're in, huh? Portland Trailblazers offload the Jeremy Grant contract. Good luck. Is there a KD to Portland? Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams? That doesn't work, does it? Oh, it does. I don't know if this actually works, is the thing. Remember when every Mavs fan wanted Jeremy Grant? Yes. Jeremy Grant and Rob Williams feels like an all-in thing they would do. This would be a hilarious return for Kevin Durant. Lakers wanted Grant for one pick and Blazers wouldn't do it. Yeah, the Blazers fucked that situation up. Absolutely. That's why if you're a bad team, you should not be holding on to vet guys. Like I've learned, if you've got a vet the teams want and they're willing to, like, you should probably just do it. Sacramento Kings, like Dorian Finney-Smith's another great example. There was reports that they were getting offered multiple first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith at one point. Held on to him, and then what did they end up getting? D'Lo and some seconds, right? That's what they ended up getting for Dorian. Held on to him way too long. Sacramento Kings extend Keegan Murray. 24-year-old is eligible to sign an extension that could top out at 5 years, $240 million. No. No. $25 million max. I mean, I'd go 30, I guess. I'd get into the 30s. I'm not paying his ass $50 million a year. I'll tell you that much. He hasn't shown nearly enough offensive dynamism to warrant a max payday. No, there's no world in which you're paying him $40 million a year. That would be horrible. San Antonio Spurs surround Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox with more shooting. It is crazy. Fox being on the Spurs, something doesn't feel right about this. Am I wrong? I feel like there's something off about this. It feels really weird. Like with them potentially getting Harper, like I think I'd be pretty shocked if Fox finishes out this contract with the Spurs. I think I'd be a little surprised. Toronto Raptors add at least one more high-volume three-point shooter. So someone texted me today. Actually, it was Nick. And he said the Locked On Raptors. The Locked On Raptors guy floated this out to him. RJ Barrett for Daniel Gafford and Najee Marshall. You for both sides? You're doing that? I don't think I'm in on that. I'm just not really that in on RJ. It's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea. Like you could talk me into it, I guess. But also, it's I guess he slots into your starting five. Oh wait, this doesn't even. Did I misread what was sent to me? RJ Barrett for Gaff and Najee. I said add Hardy and Mavs cut $1.6 million. Okay. Well, now you're getting into the sort of. Now you're kind of getting into the. Mavs have to put, like, anytime you're combining players like this, it's hard because now you have to find 3 more guys to put on your roster. Doing that in a heartbeat. You want to be hard cap for RJ Barrett? That's the thing. Like, not really. No. Not overly. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like I'm not like overly opposed to it, but I'm not in love with it. Wait, did we finish it? What was the Raptors one? Add at least one more high volume 3-point shooter. What do they even have to play around with? Utah Jazz extend Walker Kessler. What's his contract going to look like? Such a weird, interesting career arc for him. What was that second year for him? I mean, just such a bizarre. 30 million? Well, he's not making 30 mil. Right? I mean, surely not. Overpaid ascending? Okay, I can see that. You think he'll make 30 million? $30 million in this economy. Şengün makes like 33. Kessler for Reeves and 2 firsts. Fuck it, he's that good with Luka OMG. I mean, the Jazz wouldn't trade him for anything, it sounds like. All right, maybe 30 mil for him. I mean, yeah, they for sure pay him and keep him. I guess I'm just so in this, like, I can't be paying max contracts or 30 million to guys unless I really think they deserve it. Especially restricted guys. Restricted guys, if I were a GM, and I know you can't do this because of relationships and stuff, but if I'm a GM, I'm letting almost every restricted guy hit the restricted free agency. I'm letting it happen. So 30 is like mid now. 65. 65-70 is a super max. Washington Wizards facilitate the heck out of other teams' moves. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. I actually think the Wizards are doing a pretty damn good job. I'm going to be honest, as crazy as that is to say. I think they're actually doing a pretty great job. Just keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you got a ways to go. You don't have a go-to guy yet. At least you don't think you do. Just keep building out your team. Keep getting really solid young role players. Keep getting future assets. And that way, when you do finally get your guy, whenever that time might come, you've got stuff around him already.